How's it going, everybody? I'm Sean.
And I'm Ryan.
And we're the Natural Gamers, and today what we're going to be talking about is... Alright. Batman, Arkham City. Okay, before we start our review, I guess, you know. We got a little new thing we're gonna do here. We're gonna try something new. Maybe, I don't know. Might be something cool. Never know.
Maybe.
We'll
see.
Maybe not.
Experimenting.
Might work like shit, and then I'll never do it again. So without further ado, blah. Oh, look at that. There it is. There it is. Right there.
Right here. Right here. You probably can't even see my hand.
Yeah.
I think
Somewhere in here. In this area.
Somewhere.
First off, I just want to say that both of us, we are huge Batman fans in general. Not just Batman game fans or anything, just like love the movies, we read all the comic books. We're total Batman nerds. I don't know, yeah, I gotta start off like I loved Batman Arkham City.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And why it was amazing? Because it was such a fluent game. Everything in the game was fluent. But
Everything's really smooth and simple, but in depth at the same time. Well, we're just gonna start talking about gameplay. We're not gonna say anything about the storyline or any of the villains that are in it because I think that's part of the fun.
there are a lot of villains in this game.
Oh yeah, there's a shit ton, and they're all used in very appropriate and clever ways.
You don't want to give anything away.
It's part of the fun. It's part of the fun of the game and part of the enjoyment factor, at least for me and for Ryan. The gameplay is both simple and in depth at the same time.
Right.
You know what I mean? As far as the battle system goes, there's two buttons. There's an attack button and a counter attack button. Counter.
Think it's funny?
Oh, and there's also a stun button as well when you kind of like flash your cape up in front of your enemies and they're like, whoa. But it's cool because the combat isn't in depth, you know, as far as like, you know, having to hit like complicated button like arrangements or anything like that. What makes it in depth is the enemy variety.
Right.
Because there's different ways to, you know, to take out all the different type of enemy types. There's special things that you have to do to take those kind of enemies out. And so when you have to fight like a big group of them, you know, that's like where your skill comes in.
It's like that's the best part of like the whole fighting thing is when you got like you're just surrounded by 20 guys and he just goes from guy to guy to guy.
Yeah,
just
like, you're trying to string together your combos without like breaking in the flow of motion and stuff like that. And that's another thing. It's not a pain in the ass. It's not a drag to fight enemies.
It's like you enjoy it. Like it put a smile on my face.
Yeah, just sitting there in the dark by yourself, just like grinning like an asshole, just like yes. And the Rocksteady had done it before in Arkham Asylum, which is they just got it right. It's the first kind of Batman games that you feel like you're actually playing fucking Batman.
Yeah.
I'm Batman.
Oh, you fucking stole it.
Batman is the world's greatest detective, and the game. It's not like crazy in depth, like as far as the gameplay mechanics on it either and stuff, and it's very simple and few and far between. But you do actually go through portions where you actually get to act like a detective. You know, you have to find clues and analyze data and follow trails and stuff like that, and that's cool. I mean, that was really awesome.
The combat can be more in depth because what you upgrade in the upgrade menu when you level up.
Yeah, it works on an experience-based system.
Put that upgrade point towards some
your gadget
or a gadget or
your
anything.
gadgets, and upgrade your moves and your abilities and your suit and your armor and stuff.
So you can get like more in depth with the combat style. Like you can do a little bit more. You'll do more.
There's more things you can do. Like you can, with the grappling gun, you can, grapple, snatch an enemy's gun away from them,
snap it in half,
and it just adds another layer, another like thing of fun. But it's all very simple and intuitive. I was never overwhelmed by the control scheme. I don't know, were you at all?
It was fine, simple, like you said. It's just easy to deal with, and it's like and easy to adapt to.
Yeah, no, it feels very natural, and the game slowly introduces every new element and gives you enough time to kind of like master them before you're expected to like put them all together.
Another thing that's well done is the flight. It may be a pain in the ass in the beginning, but you can fucking fly.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get used to it, once you get, you know, because Arkham City, it's not the biggest game in the world, but it is pretty big. But it's very condensed. Like, everything's very dense. Like, there's so much shit to do. Yeah. The traveling is not a pain in the ass. That's also fun. Like, they also made that enjoyable, just going from one location to another. And because you can do the back glide, and once you get kind of good at it, you can do these dive bombs, and then you pull up on the joystick and you swoop back up and you get even more air.
You just get a lot of distance.
I mean, you can get almost across the entire city without ever touching the ground. And so I guess one of the last things we'll talk about is the side missions. I mean, this game has so much stuff to do. Like, I am at 52% right now.
And he's already beat the game.
And I've already beat the game. And I'm just like going around just looking for things to do right now, actually. But that's another thing about the side missions is it's cool because they a lot of other villain involvement that aren't involved in the main story. There's so many Batman villains, and they made good use of all of them with, like, to just add more of them into the game than was already there, because there's already a lot in the main mission. And it was just another way to incorporate and intelligently and appropriately incorporate those villains, and that it was a lot of fun and a lot of nice surprises, actually. Like, so it makes it for a really enjoyable experience. It makes it really hard to put down. I find myself just like looking for more things to do. Like, I'm like loving it. Ooh. I can't put it down. What about you? I mean, are you?
Well, I just pretty much like everything about the game. Everything from the voice actors to the gameplay.
Yeah.
To the story. To the end. It was awesome. That story was fucking awesome.
It was cool, and that was a weird thing, and it got a lot of flack from critics and stuff being like, that was the weakest point of the game, was the story, and I was just like, well, I don't know. Like, being a big Batman fan, it seemed like pretty in step with, like, the tone of Batman and the comics and the characters and everything. And nothing seemed out of place or weird. I disagree with the critics at large, I guess. Now, the last thing I want to mention is the graphics, because that's, in our opinion, is the least important part of a game.
Yeah.
They're pretty beautiful. It's pretty stunning.
They're pretty good.
You know, if you go up to a high perch point and you just kind of look over Gotham City, just take a second, or Arkham City rather, and you just like look out over the landscape and the skyline and stuff. It looks fucking gorgeous. So for your final thoughts, Ryan, what would you say? Is this a keeper for you? Is this a buy?
This is a buy.
Yeah.
This is a buy. New buy.
Yeah, I would buy it brand new.
Well, I mean, if you want to use...
If you want to get the Catwoman codes, which does actually add things to the story, and the fact that they are being withholding to people that like buy used games and want to charge them an extra $10 to get the Catwoman DLC, I will say is bullshit. It's just another nickel and dime thing that they're doing, so I'll call bullshit.
It's something they could have easily included, like...
No, because it was meant to be part of the game, and that's the reality. You can tell that it was actually meant to be part of the game. It is an extra thing. It does add more variety to the game, but it was worked into that story, like as it was supposed to be part of the game. Yeah, but this is a definite buy. I would go out this weekend if you have it. If you're just getting paid or something on Friday, go out and buy a copy and spend the next 2 days just in glorious, bat-tastic adventure.
Don't blow through. Take your time.
Well, I mean, you can blow through the mission, and then you still have, like, I blew through just the main missions, right? I probably did a couple side quests. I had 34% completion. Like, and now I'm doing all the other side quests, and I'm only up to 52, so, I don't know. It's worth it. Well, I guess that's going to do it for us today.
Yes, it will. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Sean.
And we are the Natural Gamers.
And we'll talk to you next time we have something to talk about. Batman!
Only you can make this world seem right. Only you can make the darkness bright.